Hey guys, today we're going to do a quick review of the Academy's OH-58D Kiowa. Hey guys, so as I just mentioned, we're going to look at this guy, Academy's beautiful 55th scale OH-58D Kiowa. Now, I didn't know anything about this aircraft until recently I watched, randomly came across a YouTube video, and then like a week later a podcast about the same thing, and it just really kind of caught my attention. Like I said, ignorant, I didn't really know about, don't know much about US Army aviation at all. So what I'll do is in the show notes below in the comments, I'll put a couple of those links. They're really good shows. First one was like an hour and a half kind of interview with a pilot, a Kiowa and Apache pilot on YouTube, which was really interesting. And then the second one's a fighter pilot podcast where he talked about the same aircraft but somebody else. Both really interesting. Good things if you like decaling or working the bench, just want stuff to listen to, white noise. These are always good things to do. So going back to this, as you see when I open the box, I did open this and review it already like last week, but I wasn't quite happy with the quality. Now I've got this camera on the new mount looking down. I think I want to do it a little bit more justice, so I'm going to do it one more time for you guys. So just talk real quick about this kit. So there's only one 35th scale OH-58D out there. MRC brought it out, I think 99, and then reboxed by Academy, and then now reboxed by Revell. So Revell is about, when I bought this, was about $10 more than what this one was, and theirs is like the desert markings, whereas this is a Black Death, which is the Hilo drab, the dark like olive drab color, which I want. So obviously being cheaper in markings I went with this kit, the Academy kit. But again, if you buy the Revell kit, the Academy kit, or the MRC kit, it's going to be exactly the same inside the box pretty much, other than the decals and stuff. The plastic's going to be the same. So let's open this guy up, and I actually did a good job. I put everything back in the bag. So we've got a few screws, decals, and we got the instructions. Only one marking on this, I believe. So let's kind of take this out of the way, and we'll get straight into this. So it's been a bit of a helicopter month recently. Like I said, I've received 3 helicopter kits in the past month. I've gone and built the mission right now, so I still haven't built one, so I don't really know my terminology and stuff, so forgive me. But I think the inside is called a cabin. So I'll call it a cabin, which I've been calling my other videos. So you start part 1, looks like we put it together. The instrument panel, looks like we have decals. Then part 2, I'm not entirely sure what this is. I think it's the avionics bay, or some kind of avionics going in the back here, inside the cabin at the back. And then moving on, more internal detail. This is at the back. There's a lot of internal detail, and kind of like I looked at this before, it's quite nice. You got like hatches open and stuff, so there's quite a lot of stuff going on in here for a simple kit. So you have this part going on here. Again, I'm not really sure how it is. 5, again, working more internal details. 6, we have a couple of pilots. If you want to put pilot figures in, you might want to go down the route of live resin, or go somewhere AliExpress and get some resin. They've got some really good pilot figures right now for Army and Navy and stuff, with all the helicopters coming out on 35th scale. So you can pick up a resin. Really good, and also Redote do really good resin figures too, if you want, because these might be a little bit crude. But here you go, the cabin, sandwiching between the 2 fuselage halves. Then the doors. Tip I picked up with this is these fly with no doors on, which is what I picked up from the podcasts and videos I watched. Apparently it's like a machismo kind of thing, where even if it's cold, the pilots don't want to put doors on, they want to leave them off. So these fly with no front doors. Up front, pretty much is what I learned. So when I build mine, I'd probably do the same to replicate it. Here, the clear parts, obviously with helicopters, the clear parts are the main, there's always a lot to deal with. Then it's like we're adding kind of like various parts to the clear parts. When dealing with clear parts, you don't want to use like extra thin glue or super glue, because it might fog it, so you might want to use like a PVA glue, would be preferable in these kind of parts. Although Bob Smith Industries does do a super glue type that doesn't fog clear parts, which I've used before. I think it's Super Gold is what it's called, I think. Anyway, go back to this, more little bits and bobs going on. The rotor. So we've got some weapons, some Stinger missiles, rocket pods, Hellfire missiles. I think you can only put one of these on. You can't like load it up like a Hind or whatever, but we'll see in a minute. So they've got all different options here that you can use. Machine gun, And then yeah, on the left side here, on the right side, you can basically pick which one you want to go with. And markings, we have one that's in black and white, so it's going to be the paper's in black and white, but the actual markings are in the typical like helo drab, like the dark olive drab kind of color, which US Army uses. And here it is, right there. So not too much going on, just number and a few little stencil markings in the US Army, and that's pretty much it. So you can see quite a nice little build. Here you can see the sprues as 5E, and it's an ammo belt in like rubber. Okay, and let's get into plastic. So actually, let's just start with decals. So the decals, like I said, very simple. Look fine to me. Not very much going on there. You guys can zoom in real quick. Yep, no problem at all. Again, not really much to talk about. Okay, let's start with the actual main part of the fuselage here, the sides of the aircraft. So look at my cutting mat, it's going to be about just over 10 inches long. Please see some of the detail on that. And this is where it's going to open, you've got some stuff going on in there, some detail. But yeah, looking really good. Again, nice kind of size, not huge. Okay, next up, clear parts. I'm just going to leave, I don't want to scratch this up, so I'll leave it in a bag. They look pretty good. Looking at the lines below, they're not really distorted very much. They look pretty clear, no problems there. Also being a helicopter, you've got tons of clear going on. Okay. Okay, then got this bag got 2 sprues. So here we got the pilot figures. I mean, your average kind of plastic kind of look. Nothing amazing there, but like I said, resin might be a nice upgrade if you want to put pilot figures in. Looking around here, we got some various parts, some details. Got the instrument panel. Let's bring it a little closer so you guys see it. Nice detail. And that's like, maybe that's like center console with some buttons. Again, raised, so you'll be able to paint this pretty easily. Looks like the front, where the pilots sit. Yep, overall pretty good. I mean, looking at this, there's not really any flash or anything that's crisply molded, should I say. Injection pins on the back, but there's no problem with those. You're not going to see any of that stuff. Okay. Next up, we have the rotors and the doors. Just looking back at this, yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, there's a rivet detail on here, raised rivets, which is probably accurate. Okay, so nothing too much to see here, but again, looks pretty good. And finally, well, actually not finally, we have this guy, which is the little bit of rubber for the ammo belt. And the final sprue with the weapons. So again, plenty of options there. This doesn't carry much at all, but you get obviously pick which way you want to go. If you want to do rocket pods or missiles or whatever. But yeah, again, really good. And that is it. I mean, there's not too much there, but you could really do some nice kind of scratch building here and really kind of detail it up. Especially if you leave the doors off the side, you can really go to town with the cabin. I think being 35th scale, there's plenty of like aftermarket stuff you could use. A lot of figures, like you can use water bottles and and various like M40 on dashboard, all kinds of stuff to kind of add some detail if you wanted to. But yeah, it looks really cool. So again, this is my second time doing this one. This is Academy's OH-58D Kiowa.